Waka, some of the safest places in Kenya, Kenyan rural areas. So historically, Kenya is in Africa. Kenya on the map is in what we call East Africa. Ndani ya East Africa kuna Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Somalia, then kuna Rwanda, kuna Burundi. Hizo zote ni countries within East Africa. But Kenya is unique. Kenya iko unique because of the culture. Culture ya Wakenya iko unique. Among the 42 tribes, we have the big tribes like the Kikuyu, the Luo, the Kalenjin, and the Luya communities. Pia kuna Kamba. Kambas are very big. So Luyas, Kakamega, Bungoma, Trans Nzoia, Busia pia kuna Waluya. Haya, ukikuja kwa Wakalenjin wako areas za Rift Valley. Rift Valley kuna Wanandi na kuna Wakipsigis, kuna Wasamburu, hao wengine mimi siwajui. Then we have the Kikuyus, wale wanaitwa Mount Kenya. Mount Kenya kuna kabila mingi sana. Kuna Kikuyu wa Central Kenya, kuna wa Embu, kuna watu wa nini wanaitwaje, Meru. We have the Meru people. Who else? Then kuja kwa the Luo community. The Luo tribe in Kenya, we have the Jaluos are found in the Nyanza region. Starting from Kisumu, unaenda Siaya, unaenda Bondo, unaenda Migori, unaenda Jonathan Barak. Mambo ni poa sana. So we are talking about Kenyan culture. Tumeanza na tribes. Kitu ingine unique about Kenyan culture ni food. Food is unique in Kenya. Nimekuja nikagundua ya kwamba huku Kenya our staple food ni ugali. Kenyans eat ugali every day. Ugali is a mixture of, not a mixture. Ugali comes from maize flour. Maize is planted, harvested, then from dried maize we get what we call flour. Flour, we take it to the posho mill. Now from the posho mill we get flour. Ikifika nyumbani, you mix flour with the boiling water to make ugali. So hiyo ndio habari ya ugali. Ugali inakuliwa, Kenyans eat ugali every day and mostly during lunchtime and supper. When I was in high school, we used to eat ugali daily. Monday, a day like Monday like this, we will eat breakfast uji with maybe if you have bread or mandazi. Then lunchtime, we used to eat githeri. Githeri is a mixture of maize and beans, boiled. They make what we call githeri. Very common amongst high schoolers in Western Kenya. Then supper, dinner, we would eat ugali with sukuma wiki. Sukuma wiki is kale. Tulikuwa tunakula ugali na sukuma wiki lunchtime. So ukienda most households in Kenya, watu hukula ugali, sukuma wiki, ugali, nyama. Kama mtu hujakula ugali, unasikia haujakula anything. What do you eat? Wewe kwenu mnakula nini? Then we have nyimbo. Apart from food, our culture also has a lot of songs. We sing during the ceremonies, like the traditional African ceremonies. When you have marriage, watu wakioana, kuna nyimbo zinaimbwa za Kiluya. Me, I'm speaking on Luya culture. Ukiwa na harusi, watu hucheza kitu inaitwa esikuti. Esikuti is our traditional dance, and it's still very popular in Western Kenya. Utapata esikuti is very popular. Esikuti is made up of skin and some special how do you call it, wooden structure. And a cow skin or the dried skin of a snake is used to make the esikuti. The esikuti is also played during funerals. In our culture, in the Luya culture, they celebrate the dead with the esikuti dance. They also have dances called Sidemba, where we have these older. They come with funny how do you call them? They have these funny things they tie on their legs. Then they go shaking them. Slemba. When someone is dead. So apart from those, we have in Kenya, we have languages, two languages, English. In Kenya, we speak English and Swahili. Swahili is another very important language. People who come from the coast, they speak Swahili. They don't know English. But people who live in Nairobi, they speak what we call Sheng. Sheng is a slang. It's where people borrow words from English, mix English and Kikuyu and Kiswahili. That's how Sheng came about. So let me talk about another thing about education. Education in Kenya starts from the primary level. Children who are of 4 years and above, they start what we call nursery school or kindergarten. Primary school, nursery school is for those who are studying in public, while kindergarten is for those who are in private. By there, I did not know that difference. I used to hear about kindergarten, so nilikuwa nashangaa hii kindergarten ni nini? So leo nimejua kindergarten inakuanga ya private sector. So mtoto akiwa 5 years old anaenda kindergarten, but nowadays wazazi wanapeleka watoto wakiwa as early as 3 years, wanaitwa playgroup. Hii stage ina last for 2 to 3 years. Then from there unaenda what we call formal education. Ukiwa na miaka 6 and kitambo kwa 844 system hii ilikuwa ina last for 12 years. So ungeenda shule primary school 8 years, once class 1 up to class 8. And in the 80s, shule zilikuwa na high levels of discipline. Teachers were very serious. We used to be beaten. We were beaten thoroughly, especially for subjects like mathematics. Me, I remember my class teacher, my maths teacher. There was a male teacher when I was in class 4. So during a lesson, a maths lesson, the guy would come in the front of the class, maybe teaches for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, then he starts marking the assignment. So he calls you one by one. Then he asks you 3 times, 2 times 3, you write. 3 times 3, you write down the answer. So me, when he asked me, bila aliniuliza 3 times 4, mi nilisema 6. Do you know what happened? Nilishtukia tu kofi. At class 4. A class teacher angekuchapa kofi because haushiki hiyo hesabu ya multiplication. 3 times 3, 4 times 4. Ilifaa ikuwe kwa kichwa. I don't know if it's still happening right now. Are kids still being beaten in school? Huko kwenu watoto wanachapwa kwa shule? So between class 1 and class 8, we went through hell. It was trauma. There is this teacher who came in class 8. At class 8, things were much serious. we had to pass mathematics by all, by fire, by fire. So kuna mwalimu alikuwa anatuchapa. The guy would give assignments in the, like today is Monday, Friday amepeana assignment, you have to solve mathematical problems so that in the next maths lesson una present your answers, marking. So the first thing the guy would ask akifika class, nani amemaliza assignment? Unainua mkono. Nani hawajamaliza? Unainua mkono. Wale hawajamaliza kwanza chapwe. And where did he get the canes? The canes were plucked from a neighbor's forest. There's a neighbor at Sakani Primary School who had a forest with these pieces of, we call it the white man's trees, the family of eucalyptus. How do you call those tree species? So those were the canes that were used to beat us during the maths lessons. So from primary school, you did what we call the Kenya Certificate of Primary Education, KCPE. KCPE is what would make you go from primary school to high school. So for me, I transited school and I went to Nyahururu High School. In Nyahururu High School, things were tough. The 4 years, it was not a joke, my friend. Hizo miaka 4 zilikuwa moto. Kwanza the change from primary school, umekuwa ukisoma ukirudi nyumbani. Now umepewa, you've changed the environment. You know, from home to Nyahururu High School is a distance of around 20 to 25 kilometers. So we could board a matatu at Msakami Junction. Then you go all the way to Majengo. Majengo, you join the road, the main road that joins or links Kisumu and Kakamega. So at Majengo, I would bought another vehicle. I would use around 20 shillings take me from Majengo to Nyahururu. Nyahururu is on your way to Kisumu. It's at a place called Kiboswa. Kiboswa. So when I arrived at the school, there were so many problems. And the biggest problem in that school was water. And water is still a major problem in most Kenyan schools. there was no enough bathing water. In fact, when we ate our lunch or meals, the plate that you used to eat, you just wipe it with tissue paper. And those who did not have, some students did not have tissue paper, and they could just put their plate there. For example, during the lunchtime, somebody will just appear in the dining hall with the same plate, not washed. Or after eating, you go and knock knock unagonga gonga kwa mti, unagonga gonga kwa ukuta, the remaining soup pours there and you have your plate. So that was Nyang'ore. Life was tough. The meals, the ugali tasted so different. Ukikompea the ugali ile unakula nyumbani na ile unakula Nyang'ori, they are two different things. When you peep into the kitchen, ukichungulia kitchen, unaona the sukuma wiki is being prepared. They just chop with the panga. And if you are new to that culture, it can be so scary. So that was the first term. You learn to survive in that culture. And the worst thing happened when it rained. Nowadays, kids are enjoying tiles. Like I had saa hii kuna watu wa Kiharu, Didi Nyoro amewatengenezea what we call cabros na nini tiles kwa classrooms. As back in the days in Nyang'ori, we did not have those things. The dormitories were cemented. The classrooms were cemented. They did not have tiles. So when it rained, there were no pavements. So when it rained, and you know that place has very thick red soil, you carry that red soil from the dormitory, you are climbing all the way to the classrooms. So you could find the classrooms are just mud on a rainy day. The dining hall is the same, mud. You know, when so many students wanaingia kwa dining hall na viatu zao zimejaa matope, that was the kind of life we went through. But you will find that school, it's taking so many people to university. And it's because of the culture that has been already established. I remember the principal introduced the idea of running. He never wanted to see people walking. If you're going to the washroom, toilets, you have to be running. If you are to go from the dining hall to the classroom, you must be running. And all that was meant to train students on what we call time management. He wanted us to be good time managers because he understood when you manage your time, you'll be able to achieve your goals easier than people who are wasting their time.